Hopefully
Okay,
with
we're
audio.
back.
Hey,
Uh,
should be working
I'm
now.
just gonna
I am
wait to hear
getting
my
the
voice.
indicators now.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that. And this should be the finale of Cardinfall. This campaign. Sorry it took so long for us to get back. We had to take a break because of a variety of circumstances. Between traveling and illness and the world. But anyway, I believe um, we're finally back, so we can finish it up. And so, just as a refresher, I know everybody here knows, but maybe we should reintroduce our characters really quick.
I'm gonna cry.
Um,
In a bit.
we can start with Lizzie.
Okay. Hi. I play Nyx. She's a barbarian rogue, and a changeling. And do I need to say anything else? I feel like I'm doing like freshman orientation all over again. Like,
This
Y-
is
hey,
amazing.
fun facts about you, pronouns, like,
You could do any context within your character if you'd like, or we could just move on.
um, I don't think I have anything else. Oh, except actually, Nyx does have pronouns that are different. She has she/they pronouns. Fun fact for the audience.
Great.
Yay. Next person, please.
Karena, what's up? What's up with Aether now?
I play Aether Sharon Whistle. She is an Azamar artificer and paladin. She's just trying her best to find the good in the world and take that good and put it in the next world now, since this one isn't really gonna be here much longer. Yeah,
Ooh.
that's her.
Good.
She's just trying her best, you know. She uses she her.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, I play Crumbs, and he's a robot, and he's torn between so many different past programmings colliding all in one brain, and has decided that the only directive that matters is protect people. But now the entire world's gonna die anyway, so he is very confused about what he should be doing with himself.
All right. Um, so now that they've done
He's chilling.
introductions, I'll give a quick little recap. Our heroes have just recently learned of a grand conspiracy involving all of the powers that run Cardinfall. This includes the Senate that writes the laws and enforces it, often unfairly. The Simic Order, a group of scientists who use their power to experiment on the populace and enforce eugenics. The Sakaar Syndicate, an organization that distributes drugs throughout the population to experiment on the behalf of the Simic Order. The Azarius Legion, a military organization under the control of the Archangel Azarius, with wishes to ascend to godhood using his military regime. And finally, the corrupt politician Omar Meditori, the personal friend of our heroes. Now, as our heroes left off, they realized that the end of the world or the universe was occurring at pretty much a party a few blocks down the road. Um, so they've teleported out of a dreadful situation from which they were going to be imprisoned uh, and perhaps otherwise punished until the world ended, and uh, have since escaped to a high up place in the Dawn Emissary, which is a massive tree that is populated by a bunch of mages and wizards, all dedicated to the uh, protecting Cardinfall from external magical forces that would seek to destroy it. Of course, they will not succeed this time. And perhaps most surprisingly, they revealed that they were never in control to begin with. So that is where we left off. After you immediately teleport there, you are start out inside of this large glowing laboratory filled with. Don't imagine for a second. Actually, before I get into descriptions, I want to get just a little bit of normal music going on.
Music. I'm already deep in the feels.
I will already warn everyone in advance that if possible, because this is the finale, I will be making as many puns as possible in chat.
Stop.
I'm apologizing in advance for this. It will be happening. Yeah, I've already made number one.
I know.
Ryan lined that up perfectly for me, so thank you. So that's my goal for this finale is make as many puns as possible.
Mine is
In addition
how
to
long
other
I
things.
cannot cry.
I'm kind of thinking if I
So-
make jokes, it'll make me forget that this is the end. So
So, so I understand it. Don't imagine like a modern laboratory that's kind of bleak and has a bunch of like dumb benches and like gross-looking laboratory equipment on it. Imagine like a proper fantasy laboratory with like a bunch of things with electricity arcing all throughout them, and just like you feel like you can hear a explosion in a distant room somewhere that just keeps going off. And just like all kinds of other like bright, interesting experiments and fun science magic going on around you. However, the laboratory is notably empty, and what you don't hear throughout the halls is noise. Felder speaks up. I've gotten a lot of messages. The Felder, the giant with two heads, that is Felder and Dratzis. Dratzis. Am I mixing it? No, Dratzis. I thought I was gonna mix it up with that drow that's becoming much more popular because D&D. But that's Draza. But yeah, he says the world has been going a little bit crazy from the shores being currently attacked by a kraken. Of course, that perhaps two are approaching, or it's some sort of other sea elemental. We have, and he goes up to a computer. It seems that now it has been for some time, but the asteroid that around at the center of Gearhold is becoming even more active. The Tarask that the under this scale district is beginning to slowly wake up, as well as apparently rumors of Orcus.
yeah.
It seems that my department will be quite busy. And being that the Azarius Legion likely isn't very interested in these affairs anymore, they're all on their own.
So, what do we do for the time being? Doesn't feel like we can do anything other than try our hand at that door, maybe.
Seems like the most right. I am doing some music stuff. There we go. Yes, it's very likely that that is our best route. So uh, there was some truth to what Crumbs had said earlier in regards to trying to maximize the amount that we influence the world over the next. However, what we don't understand is what kind of restrictions might limit our entry. We noticed how few people or creatures entered through the door in the last universe that we saw. And quite simply, I don't understand why thousands or hundreds of people didn't get through. Even a massive fight in that area should have had more than, what, 5 or 6?
Do you think something else keeps them out, or is
Like
it
a
the
weird
first
sort of interdimensional universal bouncer. Like, show me your pass. Where's your ID?
Is
Can't
there
get
a
in.
chance? Is there a chance that that could be the masks?
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
the masks. Yeah, we haven't. The masks seem to think there was already a plan in place, or like a play that was being written. Is, I think, if I recall correctly, how they were describing it. At least sculptor. So maybe they already have an idea of who they want to go through. They've clearly been watching us for a while, or maybe the types of people that they want to go through, if not specifics.
maybe. It seems like their whole idea, I mean, even the cartographer was excited about taking notes on the geography for the new world, making it again, making it better, restarting the whole world situation. So maybe one of them guards the door. Maybe that's their thing. Influence the next generation of people.
Anything we should know about them going into this?
The cartographer is pretty nice, to be completely honest. Don't look at the maps, they hurt your brain. The sculptor, on the other hand, definitely has, or feels like has ulterior motives somehow.
He gives the air of being friendly and wanting friends, but it's weird. It feels
Manipulative.
manipulative, like a business deal rather than a friendship.
Are they beings that can be negotiated with? Are they people? Are they people from the past? Do we understand their history?
I don't think they're actually people. I think they're just the masks themselves. And I don't know if they are necessarily from I guess they're from the past. If they were from the previous universe and now are making the next one, I don't really know.
I guess they're not really of any specific time necessarily.
And I don't really think they can be negotiated with. They kind of have their set stuff in mind. Like, we tried our negotiations with the sculptor and it didn't really work. So it just kind of did its own thing.
But we should keep this in mind as we will surely see them at the end. They're we shouldn't expect them to behave any differently, but I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if they did.
It's the end of the world. It's a special occasion. Got to bring out the extra crazy, you know what I mean?
Well, before was personal. Now it's business.
That's true.
By the way, as I'm speaking, I'm going back and forth between Felder and Jatsis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't imagine that it's either one. They each like pick up on each other.
I figured as much.
That's very fun.
So,
Should we rest
So-
here while we can, or is there somewhere we
Yes,
can run to?
we should be safe here.
Are they not going to think that Dawn Emissary is the first place to come looking for us?
Well, the good news about the Dawn Emissary is that it is heavily defended. We don't need mages here in order to protect ourselves.
I'm just gonna
And-
like look around in awe.
And believe it or not, and you're in this like large dome-like chamber, and you can see at the front, at the top, there's just like a ball encased in like hexagonal glass, and at the center is just a glowing, vibrating orb of energy that's just like pulsing with power. There's that's like lighting the room, and you see wires dispersing from there to other places. But the wires are made out of a clear like silicone or something like that, so you can see the electricity passing through, and it looks really cool. And he goes, and believe it or not, it is only a 3-digit code that puts us on shoot to kill with the Azarius Legion. We may have been prepared for this one for a while. And he just like presses like 3 buttons and enter on the computer, and then and you don't see any change, but surely something changed.
God. Well, I'm not sure what to do other than rest. My mind is racing. Any ideas?
Zykia is kind of like leaning up against a bench and goes, I feel so out of my depth right now.
I don't think any of us feel quite right.
Yeah, this is a crazy situation. I did not think that I was going to be alive at the end of the world, let alone playing a huge part in it, because I literally was like on the streets like not that long ago. Now here I am. Except now I have a spiritual cat.
Started from the sewer, now we're here.
Yeah, I literally refrained from it, Karina.
Oh my gosh. Here I was saying I was gonna make puns all night and you pulled that one out. Oh my gosh.
That's perfect. I'm sorry.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, serious, sad.
Serious. I'm just gonna have like Anoki pop up real quick and just like wander over to Zykia and like provide like comfort snuggles and
One other rather significant benefit of the time scale that we're looking at is that we have some time to prepare, and the knowledge that we can go about anywhere we want without being incredibly contested, because let's face it, we're all very powerful, and the ones that could be problems for us are all going to the same place. So that means we need to do anything, we can do it relatively freely.
Would we be able to go home, perhaps?
Um,
More time?
I suppose so. I would be wary, but yeah,
If it's too dangerous.
I at this point I am not going to tell you what you can or can't do. Do what you feel is best.
Any other places we should go? Does Quazzle, is he still at home? Or
I'm assuming he's still fortified up in his house. Honestly, I think we should just let him do his thing and protect himself and his kids. The last thing I'd want to do is separate him from his kids at the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's just a shame because pretty sure you could kick some ass on that field with a cannon arm.
he could, but I'm sure he would much rather those arms be hugging all his kids.
Yeah, but they're probably like super slippery. I mean, they're like little slimy babies. Like, no, they're wiggly.
And they need the second arm.
They don't like to be in one place. Hold them and they're like, ah, you know?
Do you have experience with them?
I watched them. I observed. I know a rascal when I see one. Takes one to know one.
Of course. I'm
What's
just
the
gonna
plan?
like go in the corner and put on my little like Wonder Spark light show while we're having this conversation. Just have a little
Okay.
like, calming ambiance.
You do that, and while you do that, Strats goes, all right, I've got some blankets from the closet. They're like the fire blankets for when something lights on fire, but we can sleep here for the night. Um, get ready. We want to get a full 8 hours of sleep so we can be fully prepared for the next day. Then we should have um, about 18 hours, I believe, or no, 16 hours, I think, until we need to be at the party.
Cool. 16 hours till the end of the world. That's great. Such good time. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's
Um,
sweet dreams. Sweet dreams for now.
Before we all go to sleep, Nyx is gonna go take a seat by Zyke real quick, just because it looks like she's having a panic attack.
It looked like Zykia had the panic attack and then went from like the super high to just the oof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of a crazy thing to ask for you to do, so if you don't want to do this battle, you can run. You can just leave. None of us would judge you for it.
Nyx, I always counted myself a survivor. There's no surviving this one. So I might as well, since I am gonna die. Um, sorry, I saw the chat. If I am going to die, I want to look as cool and hot as possible by shooting a bunch of people in the face. And you know what? That's what we left with, so that's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, I can't follow your judgment on that one. If that's what you want, we're more than happy that you're here. Yeah. Cool. I, for one, am very happy you're going to be with us. So,
Happy to be with you too.
Aether, are you okay? Do you have something in your throat?
Oh no, I was just trying to emphasize something. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I mean, if you're getting a cold, this is kind of an impromptu time. I really need you at your best. So, if you need to like heal or something, like just take it easy.
Felt like that was a personal stab.
They gotta pack up like instant chicken noodle soup and like put it in a boiling pot of water.
Yeah.
You need like a cup of tea or
It's
something.
like too depressed to make it properly.
Yeah, it's just a can.
Cool.
Oh
Well,
no,
I'm
it
gonna.
was nothing. I was just emphasizing some subtext. But I'm going to bed now. Good night.
When the soup pops out, it's the noodles look like the heads of each of you in like a cartoony way.
Magic.
What?
You know, it's like the Scooby Doo heads on
Yeah, like,
noodles.
like Scooby Doo or like SpongeBob
Yeah.
steamed chicken noodle soup, and they're like
Oh my
really
God.
terrible pasta-shaped heads.
It's magic.
No, it's a bunch of our dismembered heads.
That's great. That's good stuff.
All right. So you all have a good night's sleep. Weird question that I've never asked before. Do y'all have any dreams? I'm not forcing any this time. This time.
Maybe. I imagine Nyx would be a dreamer, but her dreams are probably weird as shit.
I was just giving you the opportunity to make one if you wanted to. You're good.
Do it.
Okay, we can move on.
Yeah, just move on.
Uh,
It's probably weird as shit. There's probably like someone's head gets chopped off and
That's
I
not
don't
what
know,
I was thinking.
I was gonna say, I
like
feel like
head
Crumbs
chopped
has
off,
too many dreams. If he dreams at all.
flowers
He
come
can
out.
dream.
He probably has like flashbacks to a war he doesn't remember fighting. Or like
That's
just a dream of like cooking.
yeah. Yeah.
It's more or less all he
Do
does.
any NPCs have any dreams, Ryan?
You wouldn't know.
Well, you could tell us.
No.
It's the last game. Why not?
I will say when you wake up in the morning, you wake up to the sound of just like some electricity arcing over top of your head, and all of your hair stands up for a little bit. And when you wake up, Zykia looks fine. Omar, heavy bags under his eyes.
Oh, poor guy.
Dresses and Felder only actually got like 4 or 6 hours of sleep, and they spent a whole lot of time working and reading. And throughout the night, you heard like them talking about stuff, and you begin to understand why they spend most of their time with only one head awake, and that's because they argued constantly about everything from like everything academic. It seems like the only thing they're ever like of the same mind on is in reference to your current quest. But everything else in response to like the details of research and all that kind of stuff and everything they're doing now, it's just constant bickering.
You actually have to say, as much as I would like for Crumbs to have depressing dreams, Crumbs doesn't actually sleep. He just like
Oh yeah.
he just sits on the ground and stays fully conscious for 6 hours.
He can have daydreams.
Yeah, he just kind of like just kind of drifts off a little bit.
I imagine his like drifting off has dreams that combines with like old memories from an ancient robot that fought wars he'll never remember, but then they're kind of mixed in with random stimuli throughout his day. Like he's watching a battlefield and then he sees somebody explode in front of him and he looks down at the blood and instead of blood there's just SpaghettiOs with like the fun-shaped heads in them.
Well, I was gonna say, if anything, I would guess that his equivalent of dreaming is probably just like when everybody else is sleeping and he's just sitting there with like his own thoughts. He's probably just, oh, okay, whoopsies.
Greta held up a wait finger.
That was the right button. I imagine his equivalent of dreaming is probably that he just like sits there and just like goes through old memory files he doesn't understand. Like rather than sleeping, because he doesn't sleep, he just sits there and he's just like, let me pull up this file from 2,000 years ago that I don't know the context or what it means, but let's just watch it.
You
Yeah.
good?
I imagine they're sometimes corrupted and
audio
weird.
all just like went, and then I couldn't hear anyone anymore.
He just attempts to decode like corrupted memory files,
Is the frame
Yeah.
rate of my
and that's his
camera
like
getting low?
funky dreaming.
Now your camera's back to what it was before.
Okay, this is gonna be really quick. I will be right back. I don't go anywhere.
Indeed.
All right, I'm gonna start the battle really quick.
She's
Let's
back.
go.
She's here again.
Never mind.
Back. Sorry, I don't know what happened. My whole
missed the
computer
battle.
just
We already did the battle. We lost.
oh man.
Yeah, it was pretty.
But I didn't get to talk about what Aether dreamt about.
Nothing.
He already died.
Nothing at all. Okay. Also, actually, I take it back. We are gonna have dream time. Now is an important time to remember that. Wait, no, you didn't. Never mind.
Hmm.
No, wait, you did. You
Hmm.
let the night hag live. All right, dream sequence time.
Are you
Never
kidding
mind.
me?
I'm just kidding. No, I am kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
I was like,
grab a knife, walk into your room, and kill you.
we did let the night hag live, but you know,
I stole her bag of souls, though.
and her
Hmm?
jam
Oh.
thing.
Also,
Yeah.
it's something that I thought of recently. I was rewatching like old videos, and I don't remember you guys ever using this, so I don't know if people remember it being a thing. But I remember it was like episode 3. We got the ability from the weird hag lady whose name is currently
did.
eluding me, to where at any point, if we like want to, we can re-roll any roll, and the result can't be less than 10. And I don't think anybody's ever used that. I
That's
don't have it because Crumbs wasn't there. Quipper was there.
Mhm.
But I don't think either of
I
you
totally
ever
forgot about
used
that.
that ability. Where she told your
Mhm.
fortune in episode 3, and by telling you your fortune, she like whispered it in your ear, and now at any point in the campaign, you can re-roll any roll and get a minimum of 10. And I don't think anybody ever used that ability.
That's correct.
You're
So-
right.
You two still have never used your fortunes. So keep that in
Holy
mind.
shit.
Since this very well
Another
might
sticky
be
note.
since this might be the last episode, I thought I'd bring that up.
I'm gonna go
That's
get
a
sticky
great
note to
call.
Ryan.
Because now would be
have-
the time to use your fortunes that were told to you. I just thought of unfortunately. I don't have that. But it is
a
what it
double
is.
hoodie. Oh,
But yeah. It's good.
all right. I'll remember that.
Good.
Oh my god, it's so hot in this house.
Yeah, we don't have AC.
It's
It's
We
awesome.
don't have AC. All right. So that's enough of that.
For
You
anybody that
wake
doesn't know
up
what
in
I'm
the
talking
dawn of
about,
the city.
go back and watch episode 3.
Yeah.
Wait, can I say what Aether dreamt about?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's short. I just think that she would have some kind of dream of just like being a kid back at the Sounds of Sharon Whistle with her parents, and like the first time she was like trying to build something like Wonder Spark, like some kind of little light show thing, maybe a light show inside of a snow globe, and like her mom helping her find things while her dad's welding things in the corner, trying to like build the base that she definitely isn't old enough to use the tools for. And then maybe like later on in the dream, her sneaking out one of the doors and giving toys to kids on the street that were like looking in the window, but like obviously couldn't get it because they didn't have enough money or anything. Yeah, and then it probably just like slowly gets sadder from there as the dream goes on, but those are the parts she cares about.
It switches. It switches from like it starts as a actual memory she had as a child and slowly evolves into like a mishmash of that and more current events. And
Yeah.
at some point, the lucid dreamer in her just goes, "All right, enough of that.
Yep.
We're up." All right. So you wake up in the morning. What do you want to do today? You have a day to prepare. You do know that you can get into the party. But you also know that all of the people that all of your enemies are watching it very, very closely right now. But there's also a lot else going on in the world, and you only have a day left to live in.
Well,
Do we
I
know this?
can easily disguise myself.
Oh yes.
So, you guys need some assistance.
I can't.
Also, because you went to sleep pretty early in the day, it's kind of like early morning right now.
Ryan, what's the coolest thing I can buy for 422 gold?
400 and a cloak of billowing.
For 400 gold? You're so mean. I'll take it.
Inflation.
Inflation on bad.
Honestly though, you want to spend 420 gold?
What am I gonna keep it for?
You could get a +1 shield.
Ooh, okay. I'll take it.
Okay, or revivify spell components.
I think I have 2 already.
Okay.
I have 2
That's-
already,
that's
which
a
is
solid move.
all I need. I don't need
Didn't
more
you
than
give
that.
one to me?
What?
Didn't you give one to me? 1 diamond.
Yeah, but I think I might have had 3 before.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I just know that I have
sounds
one
true.
from you. Okay.
That sounds true.
I mean, I
Fine.
guess I could buy one.
Okay.
Whatever you're feeling, both are good choices.
So, I have, if I add my platinum to it, 809 gold. Plus copper and silver. So,
I have 1,056.
I mean, y'all are like loaded.
I didn't
yeah,
realize I
because
had so much
Clipper's
money.
money died with him, but we kept ours after his death.
I guess it's fair. I did reset halfway through the story.
I don't even know what I would want to get, though.
Maybe we could pay Celia a visit.
I mean, I'm just gonna say. I mean, if this is the last day to be alive, what are we saving our money for?
That's a good point.
That's Crumb's wisdom seeping through. It doesn't do it very often, but I only have a 20. You'd think I'd say some more wise
Wand of
things.
binding? What?
A wand of
Wand
what?
of what?
Binding?
Yeah. You got that off of Laszlo's body.
His fake body.
That wasn't fake.
It was fake to me.
Oh, true. I still have a potion of true polymorph in my pocket.
Yes, you do.
We also have an animated shield and the javelin of lightning.
Lizzie, do you want the potion of true polymorph back?
Not particularly. I have the animated shield.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I
That's what I
received the javelin of light. Also.
Yes.
Because of your stuff with damage. I don't know. I feel like I need to spend all this money. Like, I feel like we need to go crazy.
Well, we can go back to the Axel district and Clearhold.
Well, aren't we literally in the richest, most fancy district that we've never been in our lives?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to party it up with some rich snobs. Pick their pockets, you know?
Do we remember what kind of party this is? Like,
Yeah, but other parties.
You do. It's a masquerade ball.
Mhm.
oh,
'Cause it's
oh, that's fun.
Everybody here wears a fucking mask.
Well, we gotta make masks then.
Oh, I can easily make a mask. I'm gonna just like have Barley transform into like a huge like butterfly mask. Like comes out from his has an antennae and has like sequins and glitter and feathers for some reason. Like it looks like a kid made it in their 3rd grade art class.
Am I the only one that thinks it sounds like Lizzie is getting closer and further away as she talks?
Yeah, I got that as well.
Sometimes I do lean away and my mic is like right here.
It just sounded like you were consistently like going back and forth like while you were talking.
It's still weird.
So,
It is what it is.
something
No.
that happens that I think is funny is Draxus looks over at you and looks at you doing that and goes over to his computer, types something in for a second, and it turns his computer screen over to towards you, and you see like a somewhat blurry picture of a it looks like a humanoid shape that's been thoroughly elongated and covered in vines, so that it's almost like it's standing on stilts, but it's just like vaguely humanoid, but rocketed up on basically stilts made out of vines, and completely engulfing the lower body. And it's kind of a blurry picture, but it seems to be physically molding a tree, and you can see bits of like human features scattered throughout the tree, and like the face is slightly adjusted towards you, and the mask looks like a simpler version of what you made.
What?
Is this related to?
It looks like a metal butterfly mask.
Is this like a costume someone was wearing, or is this like a creature thing that exists?
To be honest, that was one of our candidates for a possible mask sighting. It happened yesterday.
And I probably how would I?
Probably a coincidence. I just thought it was interesting and I thought I would share.
That's totally not alarming in any way whatsoever.
Good job, though. Now
Yeah,
we know.
cool.
We still have the butcher. Name's not very nice, but probably hard to
No.
miss.
Why am I imagining like a chainsaw scenario where he just comes in and has like a hockey mask and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's a thing that exists in this world.
Should we go shopping? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
One.
To say-
Materials?
To be fair, Lizzie, I wouldn't be surprised if like Friday the 13th-esque imagery does exist. After all, we did fight a biker gang that used paintball guns.
Yeah.
True!
I'm sure
You
hockey
did
is
miss
probably
Friday
a
the
thing.
13th. Yesterday was Friday.
I know.
True.
It's been so fun.
Didn't even
Gosh, I am literally so good at connecting things unintentionally.
Connected the dots.
I connect the dots. You have connected shit. Connect
Alright.
them.
Well, if
Chaining
we're going
X for life.
shopping, then I want to probably get some materials, just in case Need to build
Huh?
anything.
You guys can go shopping. I'm not gonna roleplay this too much. What are you looking for? What are you looking to buy?
Lots and lots and lots of Wonder Spark-esque materials.
Okay, just materials for building.
Yeah, I mean, we already bought, or we didn't buy, we were like gifted maybe? The Supreme Healing Potion.
Yep.
Two
Yep.
Supreme, ooh, 1 Supreme, 2 Superior, 4 Greater, that's what I have at least. So,
I also have
we need more? I suppose we could get like a lot.
Yeah, I might get myself at least another greater. Because another thing I was thinking of is Nyx actually like buying an actual like outfit, because Barley can just transform into like something small on her person, like an accessory.
The mask.
And that way, when someone's like searching her, they're not getting bitten by her clothes. Because that's a dead giveaway as to who she is. So,
Okay, yeah, you can go buy a ball gown if you're interested.
yeah.
Wear
I'm
a
going
suit.
to dress shopping.
Sure.
Zykia, come dress shopping with us.
As I have stressed, we have to do the whole final battle here, so I'm gonna try to speed that up and just tell me what you want.
I'm trying to slow it down.
I
Stop
don't want
that.
to end, Ryan. I'm going to miss Nyx too much.
I'm gonna get the dress, and I suppose describe it later if we have time. But maybe if Nyx and Zykia are doing something, I'm gonna head back to Sounds of Sharon Whistles in the meantime.
Hey, Zykia walks over to you. Hey, that's quite a trip. What are you doing? Don't you think we should be sticking together right now?
I really want to get home one last time and just, do something before we leave.
Okay. I think we should probably go with you, though.
I suppose.
Remember, the Embernox are still out looking for us.
Yeah, I guess we can hide in the shadows until we get there. Maybe we could get there and then go through the sewers. Leads right to my
Yeah.
basement.
That sounds like a good idea.
Like old times.
All right. I assume the main gang is going with you, plus Zykia, because she expressed interest, and the others probably will not.
Can I just subtract 300 gold from me for a dress, like a fancy ball gown dress and a greater healing potion?
Yes, you can.
Please do continue. I have to step away for a moment.
Do 2 greater healings. That's 400 and 100, so I'll do 500 gold. And then I will have spent most of my money.
All right. That sounds good. So, yeah, we can do that. So you guys head over to the Sounds of Sharon Whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Let's switch. Part of me kind of is sad about the fact that you never went back into the bone mines.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We didn't have the time for it. If this campaign could have gone on for like 5 years, I could have really slowed it down, and you guys could have done more stuff in multiple dungeons. You could have actually gone into the meteor. You would have found Gibbs. But anyway, I didn't say anything.
Yes, you did,
No, I
bitch.
didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay, I heard it, so we can talk about that during the break, maybe.
Right. Anyway, so you all you are high enough level. I'm not going to make us role play a ton of that. You make your way down to the lower districts. You make your way through the sewers, occasionally dashing through alleys of the not the Axel. Yes, the Axel district until you get to Gearhold, upon which you finally make it back to the sounds of Sharon Whistle. You can kind of hear just like kind of alarms going off and going, stay in your house. Modron activity has been cited.
Right. This shouldn't take too long. Though, of course, if you want to do anything here, feel free. It's basically been our whole house now. So
What are you planning on doing here?
I want to just build a lot. I briefly texted you about this last night. I'm going to build a lot of like kind of like spotlight looking things, and put them all along the windows. And can I get to the roof, or is that not possible?
Yeah.
I'm not
It's a low building. It's not a skyscraper.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think so. I'm gonna go to the roof, and I'm gonna put more of the lights there as well. And I'm going to take all of my jars, even the ones that don't really work, from my bedroom, and kind of like string them together and make like lantern bottle lights, and stick them along the sides of the house, like on the like roof part. And have any because I have like some big jars, some little jars, depending on what I tried. I'll put the big jars on top next to the spotlighty things, and then I'll put some little colorful boxes next to the bigger jars as well. But that's the secret for now. And I'm gonna build a little remote.
Okay. This is gonna take a few hours.
Yeah.
But Zykia helps out. She doesn't fully understand what you're doing. But it's like, so are you baiting people here and then you're gonna blow it up?
No, I'm certainly not blowing it up. I just, people might not know what's going on. Obviously, it's the end of the world and everything's pretty bleak, so I kind of wanted to find a way to give people, or at least, I don't know, the kids who still have some dreams, a good memory before everything goes away.
Well, and do you see her like fidget with something in her, take something out of her pocket, and you see the eye that becomes her motorcycle, and she looks at it for a second. There might be another way to do that.
What do you mean?
I have a certain connection with the meteor, and that's how I get my magic. And the meteor is, among other things, a giant factory made to produce machines of different designs. Normally, this is kind of hard to. This is how a lot of production gets done in the city. We take out individual parts of the factory and reassign it to things that are helpful to us. But I can kind of sometimes just tell it to build things.
Wow.
If you were to give me designs and help me get in there, we can make toys and maybe even distribute them across the entirety of Cardinfall.
I would love nothing more.
All right, it'll take some energy out of me. Is that worth it to you?
I hate to be a downer on this. This sounds like a wonderful idea, but we are really pressed for time and we still don't have a plan for tonight.
No, that makes sense. I think this will be enough for now. I've set everything up, and I definitely have a lot to spare. I've been building nothing but toys almost forever.
Oh, goodness, is this would have somebody else building it for you. Yeah, okay. What's our plan, though?
What is our plan after this? I think everything's done being set up. But this was just for me.
Probably shouldn't be here anymore and plan back. Sorry.
Crumbs, did you have anywhere you wanted to go?
Nope.
Psyche, did you want to stop at your shop at all?
No, I've got everything that matters with me.
Well, I barely keep anything in here. I've got t-shirt, and I made out of tin foil.
You're really hard to hear.
I got some t-shirts. Is this better?
Like a little bit,
Not much.
admittedly.
How is this so bad? Hold up.
Maybe you have to turn off like noise suppression or something.
If I turn, oh, it's not on the right microphone.
I thought
Oh,
that might
nice.
be true.
It's not on. It's on my computer mic, which is shit. Here we go. So nice. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, I've got some t-shirts, I've got a little man that I made out of some tinfoil sitting on Ether's bedside table. I put that there when you weren't looking and you've never noticed, and it has broken my heart. What else do I have? I got this sock I found.
My sock.
What's your sock? I found it on the street, Ether. What did you do?
I thought you were talking about things in the room.
Yeah, they're things I have. I said I found the sock. You just assumed it was your sock? No, I got this off the street. What do you
Looks
think
like
I
the
am? A thief?
Looks like the colors I would have. I'm sorry.
Hey,
That's
Brian,
because it's bloodstained. Anyways,
does
Dark
anyone
in
have
here.
any just like
Dark.
leather straps just hanging around?
For sure.
I
For sure.
just take one.
10 out of 10.
It's probably not actually leather, but sure. it's
Whatever.
analogous.
Just something.
yeah.
here's a
Synthetic
Not
pen
quite
material.
a hemp rope, but like
Bye.
a strap or something. A belt.
Yeah. By the way, as that sock gets thrown to the floor, you Aether and only Aether notices because I don't think Crumb's through it, notices Zykia goes and like puts the sock under her boot and then like scoots it back as if to kick it away. But as she does, it just like lights on fire and just goes away. You see the approximate expression of "that's so gross" on her face and just destroys it.
I found this really cute flower that I pressed in between a book.
No.
It smells old. I don't think I have anything here that I'm attached to. Oh, wait! I have this super cute collar I made out of beads that I stole from Aether, and it says Enoki, but Enoki didn't want to wear the collar, so.
Brian, while Aether was doing all that convoluted stuff,
Yeah.
can I have made the biggest batch of macaroons possible?
Yes, you can.
Because it has dawned on me that since I've gained the ability to taste, he hasn't made those yet, and I feel like he
Yeah.
probably should.
He makes those, and you also see a pack of name brand Mackie runes somewhere in the depth of her cabinet.
That'd be great.
So yeah, you can make a ton of
Mackie runes.
yeah.
It just eats like half of them immediately. And like
The ones he made or the packaged ones?
just probably not the packaged ones. I gotta use the original recipe.
Yeah.
I don't want to taste. I don't want to experience off-brand Mackie runes before I die. I'd rather just leave it to what I know and then be good with that.
Technically speaking, yours are off-brand.
Mine are like the OG recipe though. Those are like
They are the
those
OG
are the,
though.
Those are the like adapted to be mass-produced recipe. This is like This is like the actual like this is like the special
The real deal.
homemade ones.
Yeah, and you do that, you taste it, and you're like, dang, I am a good cook.
It's like I didn't even do that good on my roll, but I got like a 14.
Yeah, no, I mean that's plenty good.
Good enough. I'm just like, it's
Mhm.
pretty good.
There is one last thing I need to
Passes
grab.
them out to people.
That's 40% above average.
I'm gonna have I've just been always assuming that Nyx has just slept on Aether's floor, and so there's just like a pillow and like a blanket, like our sleeping bag or like a little mattress, like at the end of the bed. And so Nyx is gonna like lift up her pillow and pull out a little crayon drawing that she did, and it's terrible. It looks like a kindergartner did it, and it has like Aether and Clippers there, but there's like you can see that she did like little X's in black over his name.
God, that is
And then-
depressing.
And,
Oh my god!
and then Crumbs is there, and Omar's there, and like all the friends, and she
Crumbs
has
is in a
Celia.
different color because she added him later and with different crayons.
Yeah. And she has Celia there. And she's like holding Celia's hand because she loves Celia. And like Omar and like just like all the friends are on it. And Zyke is like squished in on the corner since she was added later. She's like, yeah, look, I made this drawing ages ago. I
love
think he's pretty good. I think I was able to capture Celia's spookiness.
Yeah, you really got everyone's essence down. Are you keeping it?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm keeping this shit. I don't even fucking mean I'm gonna fold it up and stuff it in my bra.
All right,
Perfect.
It's art, Aether. God.
guys, to be honest.
I figured you were. If you weren't, then I was gonna ask for it.
I
Alright.
think I did everybody's likenesses perfectly.
Anything else you'd like to do?
I was just gonna like start trying to talk through our plans
Hmm?
for tomorrow. Tonight.
Tonight,
Great.
Okay.
we're doing the plans talking at the Dawn Emissary.
Okay, you can go back up.
So I think no matter what happens, we have to remember that the door is the highest priority. So I don't
Matt,
know.
I don't think so.
assume that-
Fascinating. Do you remember that like conversation that we had about abilities? Because it is eerily similar to what we discussed, which is why I thought maybe it was you. But actually, it's better than what we discussed, which is funny to me.
Can you cast it?
I can't.
Sounds great. I never made that. You can look
There
at
you
the
go.
author. Does it say what the author is?
I think it's just an actual spell in D&D,
Wild.
which is funny.
Sorry about that.
No, I mean it's fine. It's just should we like amend what we talked about, or should we just kind of?
We can just go with this. Whatever you
Nix
prefer.
it.
I'll let you do this if you want. Or
Well,
you
just
can.
because like that doesn't have any detriments or anything.
That's true, but I'll let you do what you feel like you need to do.
Well, you know what? We'll feel it out. We're speaking vaguely on purpose to the audience that might be confused about what we're talking about. You'll figure it out eventually, I'm sure. But anyway, me and Ryan had a conversation off screen about special abilities, and I found a spell that was similar. That was all.
Yeah. I'll let you make the thematic decision
wanna-
that you think is right.
We don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. All right. There is. So you guys can head back up. You head back to the Dawn Emissary. You see a huge amount of like Skyrim-esque dwarven spider creatures. They're rolling around with electricity arcing in the center, and and also just some like drones flying around like little helicopters. And an Embernox guard goes to stop you as you're walking up to the door of the Dawn Emissary, and as you do, this little drone goes flying up in front of you and goes, "These are not the people you are looking for." And then and you see is just like the glowing eyes of the Warforged just like blink out for a second and turn back on and go, "Oh, sorry about that. You aren't the people I was looking for," and just turns around.
That's handy.
Anti-Star Wars.
You tell the droids that there's. I hate it. Own it.
You make it back in. Time to play.
Alright.
So, door is highest priority, like you said.
Yeah, I'd assume all three of us have to get in. So I guess if the fight goes one way or another, we just run.
I guess.
Not really sure what to expect.
If we can't fight them off from going through the door, then I guess the only other thing we can do is try to go through the door ourselves.
Well, especially if only a limited number are allowed to go through. So if that's the case, we want to be the first. Just to make sure we're part of that.
There is, of course, the gamble. We've been talking some, and Omar steps forward. Well, there always comes. Yes, it is best to get through the door as quickly as possible, but when you walk through the door, you can't limit who comes in after you. If you stay outside and try to wait it out, you can try to prevent people from walking you from getting in yourself. Of course, that might risk your ability to get in. Something to consider, and we also have no concept of the obstacles that might be holding us.
Right. Is practically the whole Legion going to be at this party to help?
Oh my god, it's so hot in this room.
Do we know exactly where the door is going to be? Like, exactly? Or do we just know the general location?
We know that technically we know exactly, but unfortunately there isn't a corresponding map of arcane latitudes and longitudes to building structures. So we technically know the exact location, but we have no concept of how to compare that with the room.
Makes sense.
So we know we want us three to go through the door.
Personally, we'd like to go through as well, but
Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a little,
I don't.
I would want all of you to go through.
That was going to be my next question, is how many other people are planning on going through the door? Because if we can get some of you in before us and then guarantee that we're the last three,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get that lucky, but...
So what you see is Omar look at the ground but not answer. But Zykia raises her hand and goes, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to go through the door if the opportunity presents itself, but I think I might just wait this one out.
Hmm.
I think I'll be there to help out.
That's what you want?
it's not particularly like going through the door guarantees survival.
Well, actually, yeah, I don't know that I trust survival. Kind of, it really depends on how you go about things. I don't strike myself as the god type, and I don't really want to be. But here's something to consider. Where are the people that became, you kind of, the heroes that went through, the ones who dispersed their ideas themselves in a more vague way? They don't exist anymore. They became part of the fabric of the universe, whereas the mind flayers just came over as they are. Some of them came over as gods, but the ones that dispersed they're gone. I don't really know that that's. I'm not being brave by saying I'm not going through the door. I'm scared to go through. I have some hope remaining that perhaps the rest of us get reborn or something. I mean, what's the point in restarting the universe if nobody here gets to enjoy it? I mean, maybe we won't remember our old selves, but still, maybe we'll get to live again in some extent in the next universe, but I don't see a way that going through the door lets you do that.
That makes sense.
Got a point there.
So for that reason, I don't think I plan on going through.
Okay. How do we feel as a whole? We never really talked about it that much, about the door. I mean, I kind of assumed that the three of us were doing it.
I mean, I'm okay going through the door if it means it limits one other bad person from getting through, but
Felder and I talked about it for a while, and the point of contention between us is, well, we don't know if each of us get an individual say or not. We understand to ourselves to have two different minds, but the concept of a soul and how that would translate into such an event would be, um, well, we don't have any concept of what will happen, or which one of us, if any of us, get a say in what happens. Um, so we've just decided upon just keeping it to ourselves.
Of course.
The last thing we want to do is get into a fight at the last second about, what we think should happen.
I'm gonna like kind of go like this since like Omar's looking down. I'm gonna be like, Omar,
Aether, I've spent most of my life trying to do something for this world and my people in it. And I think for the first time in my life, my endless pride has taken a hit. And I want to go through that door and I want to have one more shot doing something. But I don't know that I can do that.
I guess we'll just see when the time comes. You do what you want. We all have to do what's best for ourselves with the time that we have.
You sound like my people. Let's let's just see what happens.
cool. So nothing is set in stone. That's great.
Well, the mask is that might change when the mask shows up.
I was gonna make that joke.
Cool. So we have absolutely no plan so far. I So the only plan. Oh my gosh, my brain is short-circuiting. The only plan we have so far is that Crumbs, me, Aether go through the door if possible. And other part of plan is keep other people out of the door that we don't want to go into the door, but it would be easier to keep them out of the door if other people went in that we wanted to go in the door.
Psyche says, what about Vograx? He seems to be an enemy of our enemies, but I'm not. Is he our friend?
He's definitely a bad person.
Definitely not our friend.
So
We might have aligned interests, but at the end of the day, I don't want him going through that door.
Definitely not the
So
kind of
how-
soul you want influencing the fabric of the universe.
how should I act? Should we not kill on sight? Should we play along until until it comes for him to go to the door?
I think so. I think we need to play how we see it, because as long as we aren't attacking him and he's on our side, I imagine he won't attack us back.
I don't know that he's on our side, but he definitely isn't on theirs.
I think he's definitely on his own side.
Right.
Based on
He's probably
how
gonna
he's
try and get-
acted. Based on his acted so far, I imagine the second he sees that door open, he's going through it.
And keep an eye on the crowds, because, well, when there's a whole crowd there, we'll have no idea if he can. I mean, I don't know how a fiery dwarf or something can hide, but just keep your eye on the crowd, because if there's a whole crowd around that door and they can go through, then, they can slip through our fingers.
You're right. I feel like we should maybe nail down more of a concrete list of yes and no's in terms of the door, so that we aren't wasting time making decisions in there.
Here's a Felder Dresses speak up. So we have a problem or something to consider. Perhaps we should come to some kind of consensus of who absolutely cannot come through the door, who we don't want to go through the door, and those who we have lesser opinion for. Who should we prioritize?
Azarius should not
Azarius
go through the door. Let me look at my list of people and identify who else.
To be fair, I don't know if I like missed something in being 90% asleep occasionally, but has Azarius ever done anything like particularly evil other than being a bad parent?
Dude,
Did I-
are you?
Where
kidding
were
me?
you?
Probably
Where were
asleep.
you the entire last
That's a
episode?
good question. Oh, true. I'm an idiot. You're right. I'm forgetful.
It's like
He did try to
I
commit
also-
a little bit of genocide at one point. It's fair.
He tried to commit genocide so that he could become a god.
So that he could save the world. That's like chaotic neutral.
thought-
at worst.
no,
It's like
No.
chaotic neutral at worst.
no.
It was not to
It's like
save the world. It was
misguided, maybe.
powerful.
I'm just suggesting that maybe he's not like evil. Maybe he's just dumb and misguided.
And also lied about absolutely everything.
Well, yeah, like good people lie sometimes.
Also, technically,
Not just-
He's a bad. Okay, look, fine.
No.
Like, he's a bad guy. I just look. Okay, I'll admit I forgot about the episode where he tried to like unleash a horrible disease and like kill everybody.
That happened.
I did forget about that. But like, I am just suggesting that like, I don't know. His intentions don't strike me as like extremely evil. He's just an idiot.
He's my dad. I get to say that he's bad.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't stop him. I'm just saying that, like, you know, unless he's like an actual demon god, like he's not like
Couldn't.
horrible. He's just dumb and bad and like.
Not
So, moving on.
I guess
from
attempted
that,
genocide puts you on the evil side of the scale.
anyway.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Vograx is a try to keep him away from the door.
Right.
Hebiel,
lower priority.
yeah. Volgrax is lower priority
Well,
right now.
wait.
and
What does Psyche think of Vulgrex? Is he like bad? Have you ever seen him like snap?
I don't know anything about Vograx. I've
You know,
seen him, I think, a couple times, maybe.
has he
in
ever
fact,
like
I don't
ordered the execution of children when you were around?
That's important.
Oh my god.
Look, I'm asking the questions. Like, we know him as like manipulative, but what if he's actually secretly like an absolute psychopath?
I mean, I don't know. As far as I can tell, he really likes being in charge. He did a whole coup, but like he didn't. As far as I've seen, he didn't kill anybody that you didn't kill for him.
So he didn't kill anybody. He just
Honestly. Well, no, he did kill Don Brasco.
He also lied to us and threw one of the boss for the Sanctorum district at us in a fight so we would kill him for him.
he clearly has like attempted to get you to kill all of them for him. Like, he's like I said, manipulative, 100%.
He's
I just
incredibly
wanted to see if
manipulative.
he's a bad guy. Well, like
And
he's
I think he's
obviously
also a bad guy. He's just the only reason he's low priority is because we don't know if he's going to attack us first or if we just happen to have interests aligned and might be able to assist us involuntarily for a
seems
bit.
extremely self-interested. I imagine he's not going to stick around if there's a better option.
So we'll just keep an eye on him, play it by ear. But right now, not as high of a priority. I think Habiel might try to get through that door as well. He's a beholder and can get rid of our magic and magic items. So I feel like he's a pretty high priority, even if we can just neutralize his ability to neutralize magic.
Right.
Yes, that's going to put a real dampener on a lot of our abilities.
Quite literally.
Now, I have a thought question. Do you
Hmm.
think that if he was blind, he wouldn't be able to do that?
Um, I I don't know. Well, I'm gonna do a little bit of research real quick, and he gets on his computer and he looks it up because he would know.
She's gonna Google,
Of
gonna
official
blind beholder.
Yeah, research studies, basically, yeah. And he goes through the literature and he goes, there's some exceptions, and me personally, I don't remember the real D&D lore.
That's fair.
But what I'm deciding is, for as long as he is blind, his anti-magic cone is inactivated. However, all those little eyeballs are still a problem, and they aren't at disadvantage to hit you because they can see them for themselves.
Makes sense.
It's also worth mentioning that blindness and deafness is a spell. So
Yes, it is.
you have to be able to cast it.
Team effort.
We have two options. If there was any way to avoid Haybuel, we should. But if we are forced to
Pocket
do
sand.
combat with him, we need to probably target him or adjust ourselves in such a way that it affects other people around us.
Let's just
as
bring
well.
let's just bring a really big bag of sand and throw it in his eye.
I do believe beholders have fairly resistant eyeballs, specifically because they have a massive eye. I mean, they wouldn't do very well in life if every time a piece of grain of
I'm
sand
talking
got
about
in
a
their
piece
eye.
of sand. I'm talking about like a big sack full of sand. I'll use gust of wind to launch it into. Wait, I can't cast spells when he's looking at me, so throw it really hard.
Do you think there's any chance that we could figure out some sort of battle scenario where we got Hayviel on the opposite side of, not on the opposite side as in like fighting against, but looking at Azarius? So I feel like
Certainly a possibility, although if he's smart, he won't do that.
I can taunt him. I'm really good at being irritating.
Why don't we just, if he's around, why don't we just stand next to the bad guys?
I also don't want to die.
I'm just
So-
saying.
Hate to break it to you, Aether. We probably will.
I think we're all gonna die. I think that's like
I
the
mean-
point. It's just
I
we
mean,
will
before-
die for a good reason and not for no reason.
I just want to make it until the end.
Fair.
Here's another thing. Dorothy and Laszlo will also probably be there.
Actually, that's a good point. Ryan, how much longer do we have left at this point?
You have, I think, about 10 hours.
I'm gonna say 10 minutes. No.
5, 4.
No, keep in mind, transport there will probably take an hour. Just like getting there through the crowds, getting signed in, going to the
Wait.
party.
Is this like until the door opens or until the door closes?
That is until the door opens. You have no concept of when it closes.
You shouldn't show up to the party 9 hours before the door opens.
Not only that, but the amount that I'm giving you is it'll probably take an hour to get there and get situated. Maybe worth considering how much time you want to be at the party before the door opens.
That might also be good
Because
for
it's open for like I think 2.5 hours before the door is supposed to open. So you can be there for a while, but it's worth considering. Your enemies are there too. You don't know how they will react to your presence.
Imagine poorly.
Good question. We got the invites from the journalist person. But she only got, how many invites did she get? Did she get enough for all of us?
I think it was 5, which isn't I think it was 5, but I don't know. But either way, Drasus and Laszlo go well. We have
Drasus and Laszlo?
Jack's the Felder.
sorry, and Felder. Hold up so many names. They hold a piece, but we have invites.
Because I was gonna be like, is this like a +1 scenario, and there's only like 3 invitations, and then we have to be like, you're going with me, and
Well, the other thing is Draxus and Felder got 2 invites because we like to consider ourselves 2 different people. But I think we can easily just give this to someone else and say this one applies to both of us.
Ooh. Isn't that one cleric guy here the one that I tried to throw mold in his mouth? Didn't he was with
Yeah.
us?
We talked
He
to him.
also, you talked to him briefly. I
Yeah.
don't think he went with you. And
Oh.
also, he was in the holding cell, but then y'all got out of there, and he just went his own way. And
Oh.
also, not a cleric.
He's not a cleric?
No,
He just has a different religion?
he's just religious.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I
Believe
was
in God
a
without
cleric.
like smiting demons and stuff.
No, and also technically speaking, he didn't even believe in gods. He was more like, well, he does believe in gods, but not formally accepted gods at this era.
Perfect.
My mistake. I thought he was a cleric.
Yeah, no. You did the same exact thing people did on Critical Role, where they're like, this person is religious. They must be a paladin or a cleric. No.
No, that isn't it. It wasn't because of that. I swear, I just thought he was a cleric before even the religion was brought up.
Oh, okay. Weird. He's Hapwork.
Cool. I knew that. What is happening? Sorry, I just need weird on my screen.
Yarp.
So, obviously your disguise is very easy, but I mean, I guess Crumbs isn't really. Well, I guess you're on their bad side now because of the breakout. I don't know how to
on the bad
disguise
side now because the breakup. What did
break
you
out.
Break out.
'Cause of the breakup.
I'm like not considered a cop because I sprung like a dozen high priority prisoners out of the Citadel.
Yeah.
Blew up a couple of maximum security doors.
Because if we get there, more than an hour before the door opens, then we definitely need.
We have a while. I should get a new paint job. Someone paint me all black.
Okay.
Like go for it, like 100%.
Yeah,
Full
yeah, you can
stealth
do that.
paint job.
Just be
Stealth
careful.
mode.
Yeah.
I am the most careful person
be
ever.
like-
Why are you even warning me of this?
I mean, it's not like
Can I
just
get
be
a
careful.
dexterity
I
check
did
from
just
you?
say like full black. Like you don't have to be like precise. You just take a can of paint.
It,
and
co-
Right.
it
throw it at
covers
it.
your eyes.
What check did you say?
Yeah, just whip it off.
A dexterity.
Got rags in one of my compartments. Probably.
That's low. 12.
It is a paint job. She didn't cover
It is
anything
the paint
essential or anything, like your eyes, but there's big missing spots and things like that. Um. Then Omar goes, I don't plan on disguise.
What?
I don't plan on wearing a disguise.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to disguise myself, but
You're just-
before
You're
I
gonna
was
go
like
like that?
just totally
Naked
painted
into
to
the
look
wild?
like a chef. I feel like that's like a little more obvious than it needed to be.
Yeah. Zyke goes like, Zyke is just like, all right, I am. I mean, I guess I'll wear a disguise if you want, but to be honest, look, I'm trying to look as cool as I can
I mean, did
going
Zyke
out,
get
and I'm not
arrested?
gonna wear something dumb.
Oh my god.
Zyke
I
wasn't
got-
in the group that got arrested, right? Zyke is like just a person.
No,
she
Zyke
was-
was arrested.
Oh, okay.
She was
Nice.
arrested because of proximity to you, and that
Oh.
was it.
That's fair. I was gonna say I couldn't remember if she did or not.
It's like, yeah, I found the coolest outfit for you when we were out shopping earlier. Oh my god, you're gonna fucking love it. It's so fucking cool. And I'm gonna pull it out, and it's just like a cool like leather jacket with like snakeskin accents
Hmm.
and like some spikes. And just like really cool like leather pants and like big old chunky platform biker boots, but it's like sleek looking, so it's not just like biker wear, so she can wear it to the party. And I pull out like a matching like mask that looks like it's like basically like kind of rounded, and it just kind of looks like a snake is like slithering all around, and it like matches the colors of the snakes that she has.
All right. All right. Yes. This is what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Um, and she goes over and she like kisses you on the cheek and takes it from you and just walks right off to get changed.
Seems like she liked the gift.
Yeah. That was weird.
Was it?
Yeah.
You look at hand, there's a little bit of black lipstick. Yeah.
Gravity grenade.
Gravity grenade, heck yeah.
Gravity grenade. By the way, don't forget
Thank you,
your
Andrew, for
breakfast.
your thank you, Andrew. I'm going to formally disagree with Jeremy Crawford. Um, just because I just disagree. That's just how this is gonna go.
Oh,
Huh?
wait. The one flavor thing.
Mhm.
I forgot to add to Zykia's outfit. Um, on the like back, like where the tag would be in the jacket, there's like the ittiest, bittiest, tiny embroidered like heart shape, like Nyx's necklace.
Uh,
Aw,
So
That's really
depressing.
okay.
So we're all gonna die soon. That's a little.
Yeah, we're all gonna die soon.
By the way, don't forget us. The three of us have 5 temporary hit points, and 2 other random people, I guess, can have some.
I'm really happy right now. My hit points are at 169.
nice.
Oh,
Now-
with the temp HP, mine are also at 169.
Oh, with the
Nice.
97.
What'd you say, Conan?
Go.
Thanks, Key Lime. Mine
Ah.
is 169 without the HP.
Mm.
It's 174 with.
Very nice.
That's perfect. That's really great.
So we're getting there early then?
Right, I'm a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit confused about what Jeremy Crawford is up to. I usually respect his decisions, but come on, like the big eye is the one that the beholder clearly has control over, whereas the little eyes, the beholder can't even decide which one is firing off. Why would it see through those eyes? Why would those be the ones that go off when it's blinding? Uh, like when it's blinded, that doesn't make any sense to me. I think the reason for that is because the big eye is way more detrimental. I think.
I mean, blind and deafen is like a level 2 spell, so I could understand being like, I don't want to give them like something too great for such a low cost.
You know what?
Even
That's
though,
probably
like,
true.
It makes the most sense.
That's probably true also because if you blind it and it just spins it around in a circle and looks everywhere for a second, then your blindness and deafness goes away because you cast it and you have concentration
True.
and it looks at you. So that's probably why, because then it's easily countered by the beholder.
Blindness
But
and
I'm
deafness
not doing
doesn't
that.
use concentration.
It doesn't.
It's just a 1-minute duration.
That's a very scary spell.
It's pretty good.
Nice. Anyway.
But it can make a Constitution saving throw at the end of each of its turns to undo it.
Okay.
So
That
that's
makes
why
sense.
there's no concentration.
Okay, so currently I have a list running of people who can't go through, people who should/might go through, and people who shouldn't go through. Based on what I think my priorities are. But let me
You know, I'm gonna
finish.
go ahead and say it. I don't really know if I should go through. Cause like, I know we all think I have a soul, but on the chance that I don't, like, do we want to potentially waste a slot on what might just be a divine battery with sentience?
I mean, if it's based on souls, if you go through.
It's also fair. I might just like disanimate and not affect it at all. And then
I
more
don't
people
think it
can
would be
get
wasting anything.
That's something of an interesting question on the grounds that
because it's like if I have like most of the soul but not enough for the door to qualify it, then like, you know, at what point I feel like even if if I do have a soul, that's great. Whoop-de-doo. If I don't have a soul, let's, on the off chance, why not let someone who we know is good and has a soul go through, and let me stay back and hold the line? It just seems like the least risk plan.
That could work.
And if we
I mean,
find that there's no limit, then good for us. I'll go through at the end. But if there is a limit, then I feel like I would best serve as a defender rather than hopping on through as soon as I can.
If that's what you're interested in, then that's perfectly fine and acceptable. However, I do believe we have the current research suggests that you do have a soul.
That's
However, since the fall of the Outer Planes, um, we can no longer track the souls like we used to be able to, thanks to some. Actually, one of the founders of this institution created the method by which we would do that. But
I appreciate the
we can't really
sentiment
track
that-
things anymore. But in theory, it should still apply.
I also feel like it's worth pointing out that while I appreciate the sentiment that Warforged have souls, I've died like 4 times.
And actually, I've died twice, but we have
That's-
spells for that.
That's fair, but I'm just saying, I don't think every single one of my revivals was using a revive spell. Pretty sure at one point in that process, someone just fixed me and turned me back on.
It's entirely possible that the soul that inhabits you now is a different one than inhabited you before.
I don't know.
As far as our understanding is, the soul and the memory are two separate identities. So you
Well-
might have memories from a different soul.
That's fair. I just wonder if perhaps at some point along the line I went from being a Warforged with a soul to something more akin to the shell of what was a Warforged that just now has consciousness. Like, what if at one point I was more closely revived using something more akin to, like, reviving someone as a zombie than I was as reviving someone as a person?
I have a question for you. Do you think soulless beings ask themselves that?
Probably not, but I think conscious beings could ask that question. It's a question that I've pondered for a really long time. I don't know.
What's the difference between a conscious being and one with a soul?
What is it? I mean, does a zombie have a soul?
A zombie is not conscious.
welcome to
It
the
can-
Cardinfall
can
campaign.
talk.
We have deep philosophy talks.
I don't believe zombies can talk.
Maybe like a skeleton could probably talk.
What
What
do you
about vampires?
mean,
Do vampires
why?
have souls?
Have a
I-
soul.
They at least did.
That's what I'm
Please, like-
saying. Like, I might have had a soul at some point, but like, what if at some point between the many times I've been destroyed and rebuilt, at some point, what if they just turned
Look,
on
it's
a shell but
fine.
didn't put the soul back in it? That's all I'm saying.
Perhaps these questions can be answered there. We'll see. Perhaps you can walk through the door and find out.
Maybe. It's really gonna be really sad if I stepped through and just like turned off, accomplished nothing while people were like fighting and dying.
We'll see what happens. I think you should walk through the door.
I mean, I appreciate that. Makes me feel good on the inside, but like, we'll figure it out, I suppose.
All right.
So hot in here.
It's so hot.
I
It's
hate
so
not
hot.
having AC.
I'm so sorry.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Have we decided on whether or not we're going early or going right before the door? Early? Okay. I won't really be able to disguise, but hopefully.
How early?
You want early or late? What is the whom to? Is it to me?
What did you
Yeah.
say?
If you're not early, you're late.
Oh,
That
so we're
is
getting
not
there.
at all what I expected from you. What? So, how early?
Like the full 2.5 hours, or like an hour? Fashionably late, as they say.
I feel like you don't want to be the first people at the party because then, like, it'd be pretty easy to pick us out.
It'd be very easy to pick us out, and once we do arrive and once we're there, I don't know how long we want to, I don't know how long we want to give our enemies to react.
That's kind of why I feel like maybe we should just bust in and be like, ah, here we are. Stop, you feeds, doors opening in like a minute.
I think it should be 1 hour to give us time to analyze the terrain.
Yeah. I worry about any sort of plots that they might have set up.
I feel like we don't have to all go at the same time. What if the people that could, like, disguise or that are likely low priority targets go, like, an hour or 30 minutes early, and then the rest of us who are 6'6" titanium monstrosities, and no offense, but two-headed monstrosities can go
None taken.
right at the last minute. So that we don't immediately draw attention and have to fight for an hour straight.
It's not a bad idea.
I will be arriving later. I can't afford for Haybiel to spot me ahead of time.
Understandable.
I feel like I should arrive with you.
Why not? I go early. And anybody else want to go with me?
I really want to, but I can't really do anything about my wings, and I worry about that.
I could bring your wings when I come.
I can't take them off.
Oh.
I don't take them off.
True.
No, I can't.
I thought they were taken off when you went to jail. Were they
No.
not? Oh.
No, I rolled so high when we built them back in like episode 3 that we were like, no one can take these off.
They can take them off at the same capacity that they can tear her arm off.
Well, I mean, you know, it happens. It's fair. I do have greater restoration now. I can put them back on later.
I could probably tear your arm off.
Anyway.
Oh, by the way, actually, don't rely on the greater restoration, by the way, because it is of limited supply. So
Also, I
losing limbs
believe
if
that's
you
a
can help
different
it.
spell, by the way.
Ah, it's like restore body parts. That's basically the same, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not the same. You're right.
Regenerate.
Yeah. I apologize. I'm incorrect.
Yeah, there's another spell for that, and I think it's 9th level.
Actually,
Or
I don't
6th
even
level.
think I prepared greater restoration just because it's just at some point. If you get cursed 5 minutes before the end of the world, I don't know what to do for you.
Does greater restoration apply to things a beholder might get you with?
Probably.
Or is that I think that might be lesser restoration. I think lesser restoration is just better.
Greater restoration covers charmed, petrified, curses, reduction to ability scores, or reductions to hit point maximums.
Some of those apply to holders, but that's yeah.
Yeah, but I just have so many other spells that feel like they're a lot more useful than that are 5th level. I have very limited access to 5th level spells, and I feel like removing our curse would be cool, but
Does Aether need any meteors or anything?
Options.
She can buy them.
I think
sure.
I think I bought them already.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
Awesome.
And we changed how long that spell lasts, right?
Yeah.
So I could like cast it now if I wanted to.
For sure.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to activate my spell refueling ring.
Mm-hmm.
So it's activated now, so I can use it.
All right. Do we want to talk about arriving at the party?
I was wondering when we should break.
I was thinking we could do that right before then.
Okay, so question. if we're waiting until like an hour before, it's pretty likely that we're all going to be together at the 8-hour mark. Like 8 hours before. Perhaps even like 7 hours before.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. At like 7 hours before, I don't want to like play favorites here, but just based on hit points, I feel like I should choose Aether. I'm gonna put Death Ward on Aether,
Thanks.
which lasts for 8 hours. Requires no concentration from anybody at all. Literally just means the first time you drop to 0 hit points, you drop to 1 instead.
That's awesome. So would that
That doesn't.
like
That would
Yep.
delay the effects of defibrillating on.
Oh, true. I forgot she also has that. I feel like in that
But I
case I
still
should put it on
saving
Nyx.
throw. I still take death saving throws with that.
So are you still keeping it on Aether, or are you gonna give it to Nyx?
You do you.
Because I will say Nyx does not have anything to bounce back.
I feel like
If
I'm
you
gonna
guys are-
actually give it to Nyx instead. Because
Nyx doesn't have anything to bounce back, but Nyx also has the most hit points and a very high AC and barbarian range.
I do get hit a shit ton though. This is the last fight. We're all gonna hit a shit ton. Everybody wants us dead. We're too cool.
I don't want to like. Here's the thing: I could just give it to both of you, but that's 2/3 of my 4th level spell slots.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Well,
The
you know what?
Drato speaks up. Have you considered yourself?
Nope. I give it to Nyx instead. I just give
Yeah.
Aether like 4 good cookies,
Thank you.
and then Nyx can have like 2. And I'll take 2, and I'll give 1 to like 2 other people.
All right. All right. Do we want to take a break?
Sure. Wait, quick question. Is
Mhm.
Nyx going? Nyx is going early.
Sure.
Are we doing early, or are we just gonna do like staggered arrivals?
Zyke goes, why don't you have a phone and you communicate with us and just tell us when you want us to come in?
True. Can't we just go like wait nearby? Like,
Yeah.
is this place like secluded in the middle of the woods, or could we go to like a bar up the street and like hang out?
Middle of the city.
Yeah, let's just go like hang out nearby.
We'll try to find a location that's a short run away. Because what if an emergency happens?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to go to a bar either. That was just kind of like an example, because like I don't want to get made.
We can loiter, maybe.
We'll just go find like a creepy alley to stand in.
Worth considering.
We could find a nearby sewer grate. Burst out
No
of
sewer
their,
grates up here.
burst out of their toilets. They'll never see it coming. Would you, if you knew a bunch of bad guys were coming to your house, would you think, oh, let's check the bathroom, they might be coming from there? Like, no! You'd look out the windows. Or something.
Could work.
All right. I think we should go on break.
Okay.
We can meet back in 45 minutes? An
45
hour?
minutes.
45 minutes sounds good.
Yeah, I don't think we need an hour. Unless you need an hour.
I know.
I can find. I'm just gonna maybe
I'm not
heat up
gonna-
some soup.
I'm not gonna do anything. We're probably just gonna
Alright.
sit here for 45 minutes.
We didn't eat
45
dinner,
minutes.
so
Neither did I.
What? Oh god.
I'm running on adrenaline. And
Right.
cream
Yeah,
soda.
go eat.
Okay, goodbye, everybody. See you at
bye. We'll be right
9:45.
back. See you at 9:45.